marriage counselor and says it was mutual abuse. How does that translate to the final outcome of this trial?
I think if they think it's mutual abuse, then he loses the case because the statement is that she was a victim. Now, if they think it's maybe defensive on his part and, she's the initiator, especially if they bring in a domestic violence expert who can kind of testify how sometimes the victim also defends himself, then maybe that mutual term could kind of be changed in a way that's not co-equal. If she described it as co-equal, I think he loses.
All right, and let's talk again about the trial nuts and bolts rebuttal case. We know that Johnny Depp intends to present a rebuttal case at this point in time, if they still have time to do that. And when you have a rebuttal case, can you call witnesses who were not called by either side yet in the case?
Yes. Sure, and we may very well see people like that he calls.
And I'm just thinking domestic violence expert, depending on what the witnesses for Amber Heard said, then they may do that. Social media, you know as well as I do, worldwide has been blowing up about this case. A lot of Johnny Depp supporters. Let's look at some of the social media response. Debbie Driscoll in this case for this countdown said if Johnny never had these problems in other relationships, then we know who the problem is. And by all accounts so far, Dina, he's not been abusive to anyone else. All the testimony presented at this point is they've never had a problem with abuse by Johnny Depp. Is that going to carry the day, do you think?
I think it goes a long way because why would somebody who doesn't do it suddenly do it? It makes it more likely that she's not telling the truth. Although that marriage counselor we saw just testified to the fact that, she thought he'd never had done it before and still did it. Again, maybe somebody can, kind of an expert can kind of talk about that a little bit more, maybe why you wouldn't be triggered.
Right.
Kind of out of the blue.
Right. And, we have all these different eyewitnesses who say whether or not they've seen bruises on Amber. This marriage counselor also testified about that and, in fact, said she can't